demeanor. Any person who prevents the peaceful and orderly conduct of any meeting will be given one warning. If they persist in disrupting the meeting, that individual will be subject to arrest. Violators will be removed from the meetings. Are there any requests for agenda changes or additions? Any requests for agenda changes and additions? Any requests for agenda changes and additions? Hearing none? Yes, go ahead. Not until the end of the agenda, but I will go ahead and move that. I will move that to the after council response. So we can have public comment and council response. I know that one of the attorneys is here, but that's our other one. So we're gonna go without objection. We don't have a city attorney here. Do you see anybody coming down the aisle? Okay, all right, so this is the public comment. Members of the public who wish to address the city council or its committees must register before the meeting begins. A box will be placed at the entrance to the council chambers for collection of registrations. No additional speakers or slips will be accepted after the meeting begins. Members of the public shall have no more than 3 minutes per speaker during public comment, with only one speaking opportunity per speaker. Madam Clerk, who is our first public speaker?
First speaker is R.L. Mitchell.
Bring that down to you. Oh yeah, there, that's better. Like I say, New York, as you see, the Russians is stepping in on our situation in Flint. They don't want the people. Oh, and my name is R.L. Mitchell, and I'm supposed to comment about this situation in Flint, but the young mother about Lawson she's sitting right beside of me, and she's really concerned about this Delaware Inn over on Door House. Her son had a broken nose. They beat him, and anyway, like I say, on the way to here to council, I passed by the 5th Avenue. The man reminded me of me. He'd be there every day in this bus stop with a blanket on, with all his bags there. In the houses they built next to the Mexican taco place, whoever, I can't hardly announce it. I think I know he's waiting to get into his room. But the same thing happened to me 25 years ago down by the Federal Building. I waited there all night long, and when the morning comes, they arrested me for sitting on private property. Right, that hotel was still right there. They put me in jail for over 2 days and a half, but they wanted me to use one phone call. I didn't call nobody, but they let me out. It was almost happened to be on my birthday too. That's how this city is programmed like that. But like I say, somebody ought to go check this guy out and put him in. He be there every day. I know y'all see him right down there after near. What's that Mexican place you be taking to Madam Burns? Announce it for me. I can't announce it. You know what it? Lafayette. Yeah, Lafayette. I seen him a few minutes ago. He's a big black man. I guess he's peaceful. He don't want to protest. He's been down there for a whole year. And waiting to get into the apartments with brand new. There's about 300 of them up there. Anyway, like I say, I'm a concerned citizen about what's happening in Flint. And they killing kids and killing the dude's only 22 years old, and then y'all act like it ain't nothing. Only people talking about is Too Tall Jones, and when he talk, he just like he don't put no pressure behind his words. But I guess he want to meet him on the 5th up. Here come my lawyer, a new one at that, grinning. Anyway, I can't have it. They say he got You better drink some water, sir. You think you're dehydrating. I just left the May Center. They gave me chocolate milk instead of water, and they try to make me work out that plant. I refuse to. I can't. Anyway, this is R.L. Mitchell reporting to approve this message. Thank you very much.
The next speaker is Arthur Woodson.
Good evening. I had to leave the special council meeting, and I saw where the master fee schedule. I had mentioned the master fee schedule back in January, I think, where I told y'all that it was outdated and that they even had flight aviation fees on there. They didn't give y'all any information, but y'all passed it anyway. Did anyone try to make a motion to free up money for the residents on the water and sewer fee? Did y'all ask to take it down $2, $3 to give the residents of the city of Flint a break? I mean, he said that we had money in the sewer fund, and he said we're gonna make some more money in the coming years. Don't y'all think that it was time, after all the Flint water crisis, all the things that we had been through, that give Flint residents a break? It's really important that election is coming up and that the people put someone on city council that knows what's going on before they get on council, because that's when they become a rubber stamp. They become a rubber stamp because they don't know the rules, they don't know the charter, they don't know anything that's going on. Because what's getting ready to happen, June the 1st was the deadline for the drinking revolving loan, $20 million $30 million that they were trying to get. So you can't put it in now because they passed the deadline. So it's gonna come back up. You're gonna have people on this council who do not know what a drinking revolving loan is. And I'm serious, you're gonna have new people on here that will not know what a drinking revolving loan is. They're not gonna know why they shouldn't even vote for it. It's gonna say $30 million, we need to fix our capital improvement, we need to fix our infrastructure. No, the state broke our infrastructure. The state should be paying for it. Whoever down at the state who's winning, whoever wins, need to go to the legislators and say, hey, y'all broke our infrastructure. Y'all need to send $20, $30 million to Flint and fix it. The residents should not have to fix our infrastructure, our water mains, where the state broke it. So it's important you put someone on council who knows all these things already. Thank you.
Just a reminder, please silence all cell phones per our council rules. Thank you very much. Go ahead. Next public speaker.
The next speaker is Christina Porter.
Sorry for the cell phone, y'all. Okay. I'm standing here today because the chief of police forced me to. He left me with no other choice. For 5 weeks, I have sat on my kitchen table staring at an empty chair. For 5 weeks, I have dialed your number, left messages with your administrative assistants, and walked on the steps of your precinct. Every single time, I have been met with the exact same thing: a closed door, a wall of silence, and a rehearsed statement from your public relations team. You led a, I can't remember writing. You lead a department sworn to protect and serve, but chief, who exactly are you serving when you refuse to look me in the eye? Who are you protecting when you hide behind legal jargon and active investigation shields while a grieving mother begs for the truth about her child's death? Let me be entirely clear. My child was not a case file on your desk. They were a life. They had a family, a community, and a future that was violently ripped away from him. When you refuse to speak to me, you aren't just withholding facts, you are sending a message that my child's life didn't matter to your badge. You and your officers are used to delivering the worst news imaginable to families like mine. You preach about transparency and community policing when the cameras are rolling, but when the dust settles and it's time to answer the hard questions, your courage evaporates. I don't want your empty condolences. I don't want a press release. I want the truth. I want you to know exactly what happened. I want to know exactly what happened to my child, Logan, the night he died. And I want to know why your department has actively chosen to avoid me instead of helping me find justice. You may think you can sweep me under the rug, but Chief, you may think you can wait out my grief to wear out, but I am a mother who lost her child, and my voice will only grow louder. I am asking you, man to man, or woman to man, human to human, badge, open your door, step out of your office, and tell me the truth. Look at your pain, the pain your department's silence has caused me, and do your job. And I mean, I would like to say this. I had an incident yesterday that I needed the police force to help me with, and I had four squad cars show up, and they backed me 100%. The person was arrested, and that was all taken care of. So I do gravely appreciate the officers out there, and I know they have a job to do. But for the last 5 weeks, 2 times a week, I have gotten in touch with the chief of police. And every newscast I do, all I get is the same pre-opted message. Why can't you talk to me? I asked 5 minutes of your time. So if he's not going to do his job properly, the city council should probably find someone who should. Thank you.
The next speaker is Rich Jones.
How y'all doing today? People with addiction lives matter. And for that hotel that this young lady is talking about, that should have been shut down. There's been too many deaths, too many police calls over there for this activity to still be taking place. Before y'all leave office, y'all need to write some resolutions up, because that should not be happening. Y'all need more. It should have been so many detectives applied out there by now, so many arrests made, that the streets would be talking, we ain't going out there doing this no more. We got to find somewhere else to go. But this been happening for years, and it's sad. Another thing that y'all need to address, because behind every rule, there's an exception. And when it's freezing weather outside, and somebody can't make it to a homeless center in time before 8 o'clock, it should be a special room set aside for whoever wants to get out of the cold and stack them up in that room. Y'all need to be proactive. This is a time to be proactive, or we can do what this city been doing for too long, cry. We can wait for something to happen and we can cry about it. I'm tired of crying. And if we're gonna rejuvenate our citizens, we gotta stop crying. We gotta give them a reason to smile. We gotta give them a reason to support y'all. And that's another thing. Y'all gotta come out in the community and stand with the community when the community is standing up against something that has been done to them. Y'all left us alone with Ray Vaughn. Left us alone. The Vondrese Davis, that's just gone. Just gone. We got to stop that. Thank you.
The next speaker is Sarah Houston.
Sarah Houston, 6th Ward. It's been a while since I've been here, and yet and still, no progress, no process, no nothing. I would like to hear from somebody, please, in public comment, if it's through you to Davina, what is going on? If you don't want to bring an in-person person, listen, call the city of Detroit. They provide interpreters remotely on their Zoom. You can open up your pool of interpreters. Do something, because you ain't doing nothing, which shows you don't give a you-know-what about the deaf community. I've said that before, I'll say it again. Actions speak louder than words. I said the same thing to the mayor. This is getting ridiculous. The school is here. The highest population of deaf people are here, and you're doing nothing. Yesterday, I was fortunate to attend a meeting in the city of Detroit where they called all the deaf people, well, they put out a flyer and invited all the deaf people to come to one place to voice their concerns. They give a damn, and they're showing that they care. Y'all don't do nothing, nothing. I've been coming out here for months and months and months, and it's the same still. Oh, we waiting for this, we waiting for that. There are things that can be done. There's things that already are being done. Make the phone calls necessary. Handle your business. You can spend $59,000 per vehicle for a car for the city, but we can't spend $30,000 for a year of access to the deaf community that you are supposed to be serving. I'm just sick of the excuses. There's no reason. It's a simple phone call, but you don't want to do that. That's a simple fix to show people that you care. You want to worry about who's coming. Well, they're not coming because they don't feel welcome. I'm constantly doing this. I care. It's not for me. I eat every day. That's why I'm not here. I haven't been here the last month. I've been working. When I get time off, I come in. This is not about Sarah. I don't want a contract. I don't want the job. I want access for my people. Thank you very much for your time.
The final speaker for this meeting is Beverly Biggs Levy.
My name is Beverly Biggs Levy. I'm running for the 3rd Ward City Council seat. It's sad that you're trying to bring something here to Flint. You done poisoned us with the water. We've been 11 years without anything about our water. You pay us $1,000. That's like $90 a year is an insult. But then you want to bring a data center here.
RL. We don't
You
hear
can't hear it?
anything.
You can't hear it?
No. No, we can't hear it.
Okay. Okay. You still can't hear it? It's not working. It's not working. But we're talking about the data center that you want to bring to Flint. And bringing it to Flint is an insult. You want to put it in the 3rd Ward. And if you guys bid on this, it's going to be a disgrace. Because it seems like to me that they're trying to do like they did with Ashley Capital. They put a little money in your pocket, and then you bid on what they want you to bid on. Y'all bidded on $72 billion embankment for the Buick City, and we haven't got anything. 1st Ward, don't bid on this, but I know you will because you need the money. That's the type of person you is. Liddell got trick-or-treat candy from Ashley Capital. Quincy got a ride lawnmower. Miss Thang over here, Priestley, got her kitchen remodeled. Do not bring this to our city. Do not bid on it. Candace, they mess you around because they didn't give you your 300,000 because Quincy would bid on it. He was the fifth vote. You guys need to stop trying to fatten y'all pockets and be concerned about the people. The people, we care, but you guys don't care about us. Leon, a young lady, told me yesterday she bidded for you, and her porch is about to cave in. And she ain't seen you since you got in council in the first ward. You have a blessed day.
That was the last speaker.
Thank you. It is now time for council response. Council members may respond once to all public speakers, only after all public speakers have spoken. An individual council member's response shall be limited to 2 minutes. Is there anyone who'd like to respond?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
thank you. In regards to the travel in, it needs to be a nuisance. And that does take a while. It was the same, even before I was elected, I worked with the community with Cheers Market. Christina, give me a call. And every time someone calls, it has to be reported. Also, Ms. Houston, we did pass it. The money was passed. We cannot direct any staff to do anything. We don't have that ability. And I know they're working with, I believe, Granicus to get it done. They gave a presentation. Am I correct, Madam Clerk?
There are two different things going on. The funds that you all moved for the in-person sign language interpreter was a different pot of money. They were both amendments were made on the same day, and that is a process. So that money was moved, and right now, the organizations will have to fill out vendor information, and then they can be hired.
Make sure the
resolution-
clock is still running, please.
Okay, Madam Clerk, since they want to be specific, that's fine. Sarah, we'll get an update because this is important to me, but they're worried about the time. Now, I do want to talk about this. According to, I received a letter, Kirk, Huth, and Lang embattlement, and it says, this is another lawsuit and PFAS contamination. And I don't think residents know about this. There's a $14 billion payout. And so here's my question. It says, Dear Mayor Neely, I'm writing about a class action matter. The Aquanos film foaming foams products liability we have more than $14 billion for PFAS contamination. Detroit is in this. We get our water from Detroit. Why hasn't this been brought to council? It has a July 1st deadline for a share of $14 billion. I'm not understanding this. If Detroit is in it, why is Flint not in this? I'm not understanding this. And when we get these, however, there's a pressing deadline for PFAS sampling that must be submitted to the claims administrator by July 1st, 2026. We're already into June. Our residents got a $1,000 check and everybody didn't get that, and then they got taxed on it. I would like a referral to you, Madam Clerk, to the city attorney. We want this brought before council, please, so we can look at this.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Last chance. Anyone else? Thank you very much. That it is now time to go into closed session. Madam Attorney, could you please describe what this closed session is for? Speak into your mic, please. Make sure it's on.
Through the chair, the law department is asking to go into closed session for 2 items, which I would request that you all vote separately for. The first one is to talk about the contract negotiation ratification for lieutenants and captains for the Flint Police Department. So if we could vote on that one first, and then the second item is for a proposed settlement, and then we would vote on that one. The first one requires 6 votes. The second item requires 5. I'm sorry, vice versa. The first item requires 5 votes, and then the proposed settlement requires 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session to discuss the labor contract. No, I didn't make the motion. Are you making the motion? Okay, is there support? Support. All right. This is the vote to go into closed session. Is there any discussion, I guess? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, this is the vote to go into closed session for the labor contract.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson is not in. Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Mr. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no. We'll follow that right now with the closed session because we can go back to back, correct? All right, to go to discuss the settlement, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved by the councilwoman in the 7th ward. Is there support? Supported by the councilman in the first ward. Is there any discussion? Go ahead. I'm sorry, the 8th ward. I put 7 too. Councilman in the 8th ward. Well, I'm not going to make it.
I identify with the 7th ward.
Yeah. Is there any discussion besides the councilman's sex or gender, excuse me? Hearing none, this is the vote to
It's
go into closed
spiraling
session.
faster than,
Oh, okay. This is the vote to go into closed session for settlement.
Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson is not in. Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? Vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no. We are in closed session at 5:29.
Thank you.
I feel like the president of the United States. You don't feel something good right now. Well, you know, I found a letter about 4 days ago. All right, give me a number. Listen, young man, I want to know how you feel about answering these questions, and I'm gonna send you a $1,400 check in the mail. And I ain't had no stuff, but I answered the question, and I'm looking. So what happened to our president? He talking like this and this. I don't believe you guys see the check in the mailbox.
You know what that's about. You know, that's the tariff money that he has to give. That's the tariff money that he has to get rid of. Either he has to give it to every U.S. citizen that's a voting age, or he has to give it back to the businesses that pay him. So he don't want to give it back, so he's got to decide.
The real check, man. That's the real check, though. He goes to the right.
I mean, I don't know $1,400.
Wow, so I ain't the only one got a letter in the mail like that. You better, sound like you got it too. Okay.
Hey, I heard you stay hydrated.
That's what everybody be asking me about. No, I don't think so. What they gave me, I was at the baby center and I wanted some water. They said, we ain't got no water. We had drink this chocolate milk. I made me just here. That's what happened. What's wrong with people? They get fed and then they come in here. When they came in, they understand. Man, it sound like Jim Jones purple Kool-Aid stuff. Every time remember when they kill all them darkies? Everybody think that's still good. They don't see this generation don't mean that really happened.
Oh, yeah, it happened.
And you can show it on the video, they say that's great. That's fake news. Wow, you know what I mean?
But you know what I read? You gotta drink water, drink Gatorade.
Gatorade.
You gotta drink water, Gatorade. Water's not enough for you to stay hydrated in this heat.
That's why people just want the real to go outside. I mean, hey, I think you want to grab some this, let me try to get you the bus. The bus is gonna come pass me by. I said, what's wrong? That's what it is. I mean, right now, they gave me some water down. Now, I put it in, they said, fill it up with, nothing. I got it.
Make sure you stay hydrated.
hot time in the summertime. Sunday 48. Hot time in Flint. Bring that down south a bit. Man. So we got juicers. We used to have juicers downtown, but right in the middle of that, where the bank at? Then I took, what, 501 restaurant? I mean, oh, you got to say, was he a doctor like that Tall Jones? Hello, America. This is Ariel Mitchell again speaking. As you can see, the Reverend Jones just mentioned to Tabina Donahue, the city clerk, that he had to go and attend his service, just like Martin Luther King did, him and back in the day, the walk, pursue true and defend liberty. That's liberty is the Statue of Liberty, if you don't know, in dummy terms, in Brooklyn, New York, in Trump Front Yard, in in Washington, D.C., it's Abraham Lincoln sitting on the throne as he freed the darkies. And it's time for America to defend liberty. Like the UN better get right and step in line, or they will be dealt with along with the rest of the nations. This message comes directly from our leader, Donald Trump, President of the United States. He already told his sons, if you want to dream big. I mean, what up, talking about the king, Reverend King, supposed to have been the President of the United States, not Obama. But now you see what we got to deal with since they got rid of King, and Reverend people can't wait till they get out behind the private secret doors, talking about they got to go attend service church, a storefront church at that. A storefront church, and no, it usually be on Tuesday. Now they changed it to Wednesdays. I'm supposed to be in church right now. But if I walk out there in Burton, the doors probably be closed and they be the people's out in Burton on ask me, what business you got here out here? So the road so long to get to the church. And that's what it's time to take it to the bridge, like Trump did, like the UN, United Nations. Don't respect the own president of the United States, President Trump. Stay tuned, New York. This is R.L. Mitchell from Flint City Hall. Approve this message. Good evening, until they come out of the room. No transparent to be Flintstone, yabba dabba do. As you can see, Reverend Jones walking out with his boots on the ground, like Reverend King did in '68. There he goes, going to the church. Oh my God, on Coldwater Road, next to Clio Road, where that woman won that $1 million check, lotto ticket. Hello. Wait a minute, sir. It ain't over with. What you got the heavy feet for? It's over for me. Oh my God! And you're supposed to be a lawyer. You're supposed to represent us. Good evening. I represent you. Oh, you represent me first. Get on out of it. Oh yeah. There you go.
The time is now 6:35. And I'm calling this meeting of the Finance Committee back to order. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Alamin?
Present.
Dr. Lewis?
Present.
Ms. Johnson?
Present.
Ms. Priestley?
Present.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is absent. Ms. Burns?
Present.
Ms. Mashat?
Present.
Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jarrett? You have 8 members present.
We have 8 members present. It's now time to, for the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion. It's been moved by the councilman in the 8th ward. Is there support? Supported by the councilman in the 1st ward. Are there any separations? Are there any separations? Go ahead.
I'd like to separate the May Center.
Okay, thank you very much. So any other separations? Hearing none. So the consent agenda will consist of one resolution, 260186, La Fontaine of Dexter, new vehicles for the Flint Police Department fiscal year 26. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is absent. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Vote is 8 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 8 yes, 0 no. That will be sent to council. Our one separation is 260192, acceptance for Genesee County Senior Millage Funding, Eric May Senior and Community Service Center, fiscal year 2026 budget amendment. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
Motion to approve to send to council.
Is there support? It's been moved by the councilwoman in the 6th ward, supported by the councilman in the 1st ward, to send resolution 260192 to council. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
To you, to the city clerk. Madam Clerk, do you have the budget that we received? I didn't see it in our email. I know it was handed to us. Do you happen to have a copy? I know I asked you prior to the meeting.
No, I don't have a copy. When it was given to you, there were only enough copies for the council, but I did ask Mr. Moore for another copy.
I don't know, that wasn't the one. There was another one that was more detailed that we received. I think it was a.
That's the only one I have in here.
Yeah, there was one that was given to us right before the council meeting. For you, to Mr. Moore, I don't know who does this. I don't know if it's Christian. We were given a budget right before, I don't know who it is, whoever handles this, could you come on down? We were given a budget right before which stated the 280,000 that was to be inside the entire budget. And that's what we have been asking for months, which actually had, I think, a third different salary that was in it. Good evening, Christian. Thank you. Do you happen to have a copy of that?
There was a conversation, so I didn't hear what you're asking for.
Do you happen to have, we received this not in our email, it was handed to us right before a meeting of a complete budget, which was at the total of 280,000, and it had some figures. And when we asked the questions the last time, Mr. Taylor walked away.
Right. I have a copy. I don't have one with me right now.
Okay, could you get a copy to us? Because it wasn't in our email.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was just handed to us. And I know we did not get to finish asking questions before Mr. Taylor walked off.
okay. You just want to see a copy of that? Yeah.
Yeah, if we can get a copy, and it was actually, I want to say maybe like 3 pages.
Yeah. Yeah. I still have it in my files. I just. didn't-
Okay,
yeah.
if you could get that to us, because I did have some questions because they weren't answered. We weren't unable to complete or finish the discussion.
Okay.
How long would it take you to get that?
Do you want me to get
to
it
the
right
clerk
now?
first? Well, we're voting on it. So if you can get it to us by special affairs
Next week?
next Monday, but I would like it today if you, because I like to read it.
Yeah. I mean, I did by Monday for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can get it to the clerk, and if the clerk can, when can you get it to her?
Well, I'll follow the ordinary process. I'll give it to the city administrator and go that way. But I just have to go through my files because I think I kind of piece things together to put
Yeah,
that
I don't know
together.
what, because we did not get a copy. We did get a copy. We didn't get a digital copy of it.
Right.
And when we asked questions, we didn't get very far into getting any answers. And so I don't have that. I usually recycle documents, loose documents, because they're normally come in our email,
Mhm.
and then we recycle them as we leave. So if you get that to the city clerk, and then I'm gonna make a motion to send this to special affairs.
There's a motion on the floor by the councilwoman in the 6th ward to send resolution 260192 to special affairs. Is there support? It's been supported by the councilman in the 8th ward. This is the vote to send 260192 to special affairs.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is absent. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat? No. Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? No. Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Vote is 6 yes, 2 no.
The vote is 6 yes, 2 no. That will be sent to special affairs. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Been moved by the councilman in the 8th ward. Is there supported by the councilman in the 1st ward? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat? Yes. Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr.
Mr. Jarrett,
Yes.
Mr. Alamin, Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Priestley.
Yes.
The vote is 8 yes, 0 no.
The vote is 8 yes, 0 no. We are adjourned at 6:42.
What are we waiting on?
I gave it. I gave it to Leanne.
Dennis, did you get your TA1 and TA2?
Yeah, so, I can postpone this. Yeah.
My father, we,
So
touch people's grass. Yeah.
The time now is 6:48, and we'll be starting the legislation committee.
Mr. Alamin?
Present.
Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson?
Present.
Ms. Priestley?
Present.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns?
Present.
Ms. Mashat? Present. Mr. Pfeiffer?
Present.
Mr. Jarrett?
Present.
You have 7 members present.
7 members present. Now the time is for the reading of the disorderly person city code subsection. Any person that persists in disrupting this meeting will be in violation of the Flint City Code, section 3110, disorderly conduct, assault and battery, and disorderly persons, and will be subject to arrest for a misdemeanor. Any person who prevents the peaceful and orderly conduct of any meeting will be given 1 warning. If you persist in disrupting this meeting, that individual will be subject to arrest. Violators will be removed from this meeting. Request for agenda changes. Is there any request for agenda changes? Hearing none, so we'll go to public comments. Members of the public who will wish to address the city council or its committee must register before the meeting begins. A box will be placed at the entrance of the council chambers for collection of registration. No additional speakers or slips will be accepted after the meeting begins. Members of the public shall have no more than 3 minutes per speaker during public comment, with only 1 speaking opportunity per speaker. Madam Clerk. First speaker.
First speaker is R.L. Mitchell.
Good evening, Council. I'm R.L. Mitchell. Comments on the situation of that closed room situation. They're talking about Peapot in Flint. Don't want the public to know Detroit done sued us for $18 billion, not no $1 million, $1 billion, and we don't have no communication that they've been doing that. In July, it's gonna be the 31st, and we ain't heard nothing until today. Think we is First Ward. You're talking about those who speak, and that's for the record. But now about this situation over on George Highway about closing this restaurant. I mean, this people's getting killed in Flint, and you ain't doing nothing about it. And talking about just like the beer and wine store on DuPont Street. The dude's nephew got robbed and killed. The Israeli dude, and the others, his cousin on Coldwater Road hired a hitman, and coming in, it's killed stab every darky man they can see, but they're killing the wrong darkies. Then 9 times out of 10, they ain't getting there. One of the dudes that killed his nephew for robbing, and that's what's going on in Flint right now. And don't recognize the darky. Like Father's Day coming up, and nobody mentioned nothing about Father's Day, and it ain't went all week. And what they used to do to darky, hang him upside down and cut his balls off. Only woman to talk straight about that is Miss Priestley. Talking about castrate him and all that junk. A darky, I'm talking y'all so like you're concerned about families and stuff. And I just got this, the woman gave me this stick last night. She said, don't throw that away, my mama made it. This reminds me of somebody, a black man getting his balls castrated and talking, his vagina's cut off for directed like Trump dealing with this Middle East stuff. The UN gonna jump on our president, and Trump told me, pursue truth and defend liberty. Talking about that Statue of Liberty over there in the waters in Brooklyn, New York. And that's what he's talking about. Trump, one for all for one. Trump ain't no joke. Stand with Israel or you gonna get, what they say, fucked up. I mean, you gonna get dealt with. You drunken heathens, think you is. Think a black man ain't nothing but a pushover. You drunken, stupid, drunk, they can't talk with the deaf peoples and think Flint ain't nothing but a money pot, and all that junk. And then tell her back there, let that little Christian dude do all the talking because he got deep pocket like my kids and stuff. And all that, taking care of the whole Flint. Stay tuned, America. Mitchell approved this message.
All right, thank you. Next public speaker, please.
Next speaker is Arthur Woodson.
Good evening. Why is the green zone still in committee? Every ward, except for Judy Priestley, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd ward. Y'all ward is green. No development dollars, only green dollars. We don't have green dollars anymore. And it shouldn't be green anyway. If they're gonna build apartments, y'all had apartments built in your wards outside of those 4 wards. Y'all having apartments built. Why can't we have townhomes and apartments built over there? Even though I'm not for townhomes or townhouses or apartments, I'm for houses, affordable houses. But if they're gonna build some apartments, let them build apartments. The thing that you have to start doing is making sure when they come to build the apartments and they say affordable apartments, make sure that they are using Flint median. Flint median is $26,000. Genesee County median is $53,000. How is that low income for the people here in the city of Flint? How is that affordable rent for the people here in the city of Flint? Been saying this for years now. All these apartments downtown in these other wards, people in Flint can't afford $1,200, $2,000 for rent. But they're using Flint dollars to build these apartments. How is that? How is it that you're using the residents of Flint money to build apartments, but the people of the city of Flint can't afford it? And nobody's doing anything about it. That's the craziest thing in the world. You all have the opportunity to change North Side and the East Side from green to traditional. All you have to do is just put a motion on the floor. The master plan is a living document. You can change it at any time. It's not difficult. I mean, I don't understand why you're looking at it right now, that you're able to change it. Because you have a resolution with changing the green zone. Why not change the whole thing? Just say we're doing away with all the green zones. That's it. I mean, it's not that difficult. We shouldn't have to come up here and ask every time we want to do something or build a garage or whatever on our empty lot and ask the council for permission to be able to do that. We shouldn't have to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
The next speaker is Christina Porter.
The pain of waking up every day knowing I will never hear his voice, see his smile, or hug him again is a way I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. What makes this pain even harder is to bear that knowing that Logan's death was entirely preventable. The Travel Inn has been a known hotspot for violence, drugs, and human trafficking for years. The bodies are piling up there. How many mothers have to stand at a podium like this and cry for their children before the city does something? How many families have to be torn apart before you realize that keeping this place open is a sin against the people of Flint? A motel is supposed to be a place to sleep, not a place for our children to die. Okay, I hear people say that shutting it down is complicated or that we have to wait for a legal process. But as a mother, I cannot accept excuses while more lives are at risk. We have gathered thousands of signatures on our petitions, gathering more every day online. The community has spoken. We are demanding that the city declare the Travel Inn a public nuisance and shut the doors permanently. But I'm gonna stop here and say that I do have an email from the assisting prosecuting attorney saying it has been deemed a nuisance property. So it's already a nuisance property. It's been that way for years. Why is it still open? Oh, we have legal this, legal that. That's great. So while you're going through the legal process, let's just watch more children die. Let's just do that, right? So if city leaders truly care about the families of Flint, they will stop exploring options and start taking action. Put the locks on the doors and shut it down. I cannot bring my baby boy back. I cannot erase the nightmare of the past few weeks. But I promise you this, I am not gonna let Logan's death go unheard. I am not I'm not gonna let him be just another statistic. I'm going to fight with everything I have in me to make sure his memory brings a real change to the city. We are going to shut the Travel Inn down, and we are going to make Flint safer for everyone's children. So I do know that there's some progress being made. I'm going to put that out there with the health inspector, city. You know, I do know things are changing, things are going, and I appreciate all your efforts, but it's not happening fast enough. We protested there last week on a Thursday. We pulled up somebody ODing on the side of the hotel. My friends wanted to see where their nephew died, so I took them back there. There was 2 people behind the dumpsters out, 3 behind the building. So that makes a total of 6 people in the first 15 minutes we were there that we had to call the police on. By the time the day was over, there was already 5 sheriffs, 2 foot cops, 2 ambulances, and a fire engine there within the first 20 minutes we were there. Now, did they just do this because we were there? I don't think so. I'm just saying it has been deemed a nuisance property. Do something about it.
Thank you. Next public speaker, please.
Next speaker is Rich Jones. He's not in. Sarah Houston.
Sarah Houston, 6th Ward. Thank you, Councilwoman Tanya, for explaining that had happened. I did get an opportunity to speak with Ms. Davina and just finding out that it needs to be bidded on. So I've contacted my friends that I know have agencies to do that, to get that taken care of. But the issue now lies that resolution was only for the rest of this fiscal year. And so that's like the next 3 meetings. So we need to make sure that we have something in place for beyond the next 3 meetings so that this can be consistent. And so, yeah, progress, that's what I like to see. So I heard progress and that makes me happy. And so, yeah, so I'd like to see it past the 3 dates that we've already set for to make sure this can be continued. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Next public speaker, please.
Next speaker is Beverly Biggs Levy.
My name is Beverly Biggs Levy. I'm running for the 3rd Ward City Council seat. This is what I was trying to play the first.
Decided to hit post.
Okay, gotta turn it up.
If the whole thing about these data centers is that it's going to use up all of our water and the community is going to die because it has no more access to drinkable water, then why are they putting it in good communities to ruin those communities? Why not places like Flint, Michigan? Oh, that's foul. Did this white woman really just say, why not Flint, Michigan? Like Flint is some disposable sacrifice zone? Like the people there don't matter? Like an entire predominantly Black community being poisoned for years wasn't already one of the most horrific examples of environmental racism in this country? And this is exactly why other white people need to start calling this shit out every single time we see it immediately. Because what you just said was not concern for communities. What you said was, why not dump more suffering onto people that I see as less valuable? Flint still does.
We still don't have good drinking water. And I know that you guys has it on your menu to bid on this. Do not bid on this. It will be coming in the 3rd Ward, and we're not having it. Our people don't want this. We've been poisoned once. And for 11 years, all we got was $90 a year. That's an insult to our people. I hope you guys don't bid on it. And if you do, and then you got the mayor saying our water is good. I can't believe him. It tastes okay.
I ask a lot of people on the streets, would you drink water from the Flint River? They give me a strange look as to say, are you crazy? And then followed by a big answer of no.
And people have this perception of Flint River water as being this awful source of water. It's not awful, because you can drink it. It can be used for human consumption, for drinking and bathing alike, and this water is safe.
How's the water?
Fresh. Our mayor said this water is fresh. Come on, y'all. Make this make sense. Y'all keep falling behind this crooked mayor. I don't know what to tell you. We are going to hell. We're going to try to drink this water. He's saying it's fresh. What water you ever seen was fresh? The water is no good. And if you guys bid on it, all you guys are doing, the 5 foolish are just fattening your pockets. And it's sad to say. Have a blessed day.
All right, thank you. Next public speaker, please.
The final speaker for this meeting is David Peachy.
Yeah, thank you. David Peachy, East Side. The other day, there was a fire across the street from my house. A house was on fire. The fire department showed up, 3 fire trucks. The grass is so damn high, they didn't know where the fire hydrant was. They tried to drag hoses, which they did do. They were tripping over this grass because it's a whole lot, big lot. And getting to the fire hydrant was a job in itself. And this is ridiculous. This is the city of Flint that's got all this money for other things. And anyway, the next day, there was a bunch of kids playing in this house. They were playing in there. They was about 14, 15 years old. They said they'd never seen a house that was burned down before. Well, it wasn't burned down, it was smoke damage inside. But the floors were awful bad. I got them out of there. But somebody's gonna get killed in that neighborhood eventually because of this stupidity. We got speeders going down that street, and I've confronted her, I don't know how many times, about getting a speed bump over there. You got them everywhere else, but you can't get them on Woodrow. Don't deny it. And they come down that street doing 40, 50 miles an hour, and these, especially race cars. It just doesn't have to be. But this house across the street has been vacant for 4 or 5 years. I got pictures of the lot 2 doors down from me. It's got all these tires, and I confronted her I don't know how many times. Now with all that rain, you got all these mosquitoes, you got all these bugs flying around. It's a health hazard. And she said, well, they can't clean it up. Why can't they clean it up? You said you blamed it on OSHA at one time. Now it's not OSHA. The foundations have been piled up with junk. People drive by their spare tires, they throw it in there and everything. I know it's the East Side, but the East Side shouldn't have to live like that. You go over there in the 7th Ward, they got more bump pads over there in a few streets than we got on the whole East Side. They're painting houses over there across from Central High School. All these houses being painted. Who's paying for that anyway? Huh? it's so disgusting, but when these kids were in that house, usually when there was a fire or something like that, fire department or somebody else come and boarded them all up. They don't even bother doing that. This is just ridiculous. Them kids could have got seriously hurt in there for no reason. That house should have been tore down a long time ago. The apartment house is right next door to it that burned down 4 years ago, and it still hasn't been touched. You just can't imagine the debris that's been put in it. They're dumping grounds for everybody. All we ever want to do is get a little respect like everybody else gets. That wouldn't happen in any other ward. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I was in the public comments. Now we'll go to council response. Council members may respond once to all public speakers, only after all public speakers have spoken, and if individual council person member response shall be limited to 2 minutes. Is there any council person who would like to speak?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 4th Ward, you have the floor.
Mr. Peachy, the day I found out about the fire, I requested that that house be boarded. I said the day I heard that the house had burned, I requested that it be boarded. I understand that the owner is in prison and that there's people in and out of that house all the time. Private residents are the hardest ones to get to be closed up. Privately owned residences. If it was city land bank, they would have closed it up. But it's privately owned. I've also requested that house on the corner across the street to be torn down. And I keep telling you that the house where the tires are being put in the basement, that the land bank has said that they cannot get the tires out because they're in a basement. It's not my thing. It's from the land bank. And I wish you would that you would get this understood, that I am working hard to clean that street up. I understand that, but I am working every day. I work on that street. All I can do, I don't have the ability to physically go and clean it up myself. All I can do is request from the land bank and the city, and if it's a privately owned, I feel like my hands are tied. If I could get teeth into something for privately owned homes, I would. Thank you.
All right. All right, thank you. Is there any other council person who would like to speak at this time? All right, hearing none, we'll go to the consent agenda. Per the amendment rules governing meetings of the Flint City Council, as adopted by the City Council on Monday, April 22nd, 2024, the chair may request the adoption of consent agenda. After a motion to adopt the consent agenda is made and second, the chair shall ask for separation. Any agenda items on the consent agenda shall be separated at the request of any council member. After any separation, there is no debate on approving the consent agenda. It shall be voted on or adopted without objection. I'll entertain a motion for the consent agenda. So moved by the council person in the 7th Ward. Is there any separation? Oh, I'm sorry. You second?
I'll second it, but I want to do complete separation.
Okay, council person in the 8th Ward seconded. Now, is there any separation?
Complete separation.
Complete separation. All right, so we'll go to ordinance 260135, Code Amendment Ordinance Chapter 50, Zoning Ordinance.
Mr. Chair.
Councilperson in the 8th Ward.
Motion to send to council.
There's been a motion made to send to council. Is there any support? Supported by the councilperson in the 4th Ward. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Councilperson in the 8th Ward, you have the floor.
So I had just for full transparency, I had a meeting today with Mr. Slaughter, and we also called the consultant working on our zoning. And the new language is set to go to a public hearing with the Planning Commission on the 23rd. So at this point, we can keep this here until the new one comes, or we can postpone indefinitely. So I will make a motion, if nobody else wants to speak, I'll make a motion to postpone this indefinitely, and the new language will be coming after the public hearing with the Planning Commission.
I'll support that motion.
There's been a motion to leave, you say leave it here?
No, table, postpone it indefinitely.
Postpone.
Oh, there's been a motion made by the councilperson in the 8th Ward to postpone it indefinitely. Is there, and supported by the councilperson in the 4th Ward. This is the roll call vote to postpone this. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Alamin?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Not in.
Is not in. Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
And the vote is 6 yes, 1 no.
Vote is 6 yes, 1 no. This is postpone staying here.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to send the council 260193.
There's been a motion to send 260193 to council. Is there any support?
I'll support that.
Supported by the councilwoman in the 4th Ward. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Councilperson in the 8th Ward, you have the floor.
is there anybody here to speak to this ordinance?
I saw Mr. Harris.
Mr. Chair?
Madam Clerk.
Yes, Mr. Harris did approach me while you were in closed session, and he had to leave for a prior commitment.
Okay, is there anybody from the administration that can speak to why we're? No? All right. I make a motion to leave this here.
There's been a motion made by the councilman in the 8th Ward to leave this here. Is there any support? Supported by the councilwoman in the 6th Ward. This is the roll call.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Excuse me, Ms. Johnson is not in. Ms. Priestley?
No.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin?
Yes.
Vote is 5 yes, 2 no.
The vote is 5 yes, 2 no. That remains here.
Motion to adjourn.
There's been a motion made by the councilperson in the 7th Ward to adjourn. Is there support? Support.
Support, oh, it was, okay.
Supported by the councilwoman in the 4th Ward. This is the roll call to adjourn. Madam Clerk.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer? Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin?
Yes.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Vote is 8 yes, 0 no.
8 yes, 0 no. We adjourn.
If I leave right now, it'd take me 40 minutes to get there.
Madam Clerk, are you ready? You good? Okay, I'm going to bypass the last 20 seconds and bring this Government Operations Committee to order. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Mr. Alamin?
Present.
Dr. Lewis?
Present.
Ms. Johnson?
Present.
Ms. Priestley?
Present.
Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns?
Present.
Ms. Mashat?
Present.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Present.
Mr. Jarrett?
Present.
You have 8 members present.
We have 8 members present. Redoing of disorderly persons city code subsection. Any person that persists in disrupting this meeting will be in violation of Flint City Code Section 31-10, disorderly conduct, assault and battery, and disorderly persons, and will be subject to arrest for a misdemeanor. Any person who prevents the peaceful and orderly conduct of any meeting will be given 1 warning. If they persist in disrupting the meeting, that individual will be subject to arrest, and violators will be removed from the meetings. Are there any requests for agenda changes? Any requests for agenda changes?
Mr. Chair,
Councilwoman in the second ward.
is it possible to move the special order up? Because we have a visitor here from Pittsburgh.
Can you repeat that?
Sure. Is it possible to move the special order 260188 up before we do resolutions? Because we have a visitor that's been waiting since the finance meeting from Pittsburgh.
There's no time limit on that, so is there a time limit that we want to put?
Yes, he only needs 10 minutes.
Okay. Then I will order that with a 10-minute without objection. Okay.
And also, Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
for the other special order 260189, can we postpone that to the next government ops meeting?
Yep, we will postpone 260189 to the next meeting without objection as well. Any other additions or changes to the agenda? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, the first public comment.
First public speaker is R.L. Mitchell.
I'm R.L. Mitchell, speaking on government ops business about this situation in Burton, Michigan. One of our Flint members mentioned about what they done. They asked permission to switch the Flint water to their water department, but they didn't switch the sewer department. And now it got us in a lawsuit. Detroit caught us up getting in a lawsuit, and nobody's saying nothing about it. It's business as usual. And nobody's set up there like deers at a headlight and ain't saying nothing. Like Ms. Mashat over there, president of the council board, finna tear down Woody in Central High School. The bill some talking about the Lovers Lane Park and don't know. Anyway, but the business in Flint gotta be transparent. You see that dude ran out of the meeting, and now y'all asking for him. The big white man, he ran over and told me, I ain't protecting you. I'm for myself. And went on out the door. He supposed to be, you was sitting right there. And just like that, the news media is talking about the people, they had bad water in they city, went to put it in Flint town. And when the time the white person talk about Flint, another white person has to speak up for him. That's that racial stuff. If you don't say nothing about it, we ain't nothing but a drunken toilet stool in Flint. Just because General Motors left all that pea pot over there on that poison land, and you trying to build over putting dirt on it. The whole St. John and all them trucks over there, white trucks. And every time somebody give me a ride home, they said, Mitchell, what's some white trucks? I know you down in City Hall every time. I said, I think they for the milkman, because everybody on St. John used to have them milk carts, put them on their porch. She said, oh, is that what them old houses with them milk box on the? I said, yeah, they believe everything I said, but I remember that. Them milkmans on, and I'd be so hungry and stuff, and they said, you can't just take one off the porch. You got to go to school at Fairview. I took one milk off the porch. They said, that's stealing. You know what? Your mama ain't got no money to pay for no milk. You look right on St. John, right on State Street and Lee Street. I remember the old Iceman and stuff, and we still in the darky road. Black man don't know how to handle business. And Rick Rose Stanley was right. We were next door neighbors. He ended up being the mayor, and he was going to fix this whole city up, and he up there at News 10 or 12 come over there and talk about over his house. What I'm going to do with this? He had a little baby in her hand, and nobody won't talk. And then Woodrow said, you don't want me to leave? I'll leave. You don't ask no question. He was taking care of the city. Hey, Tarzan is curious. Okay, all right, Mr. Prude is listening. Take care of business. Tarzan.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Now I know why my milk keeps disappearing from my porch. Madam Clerk, next speaker, please.
The next speaker is Arthur Woodson.
I hate Judy was leaving. Judy, you should have made a motion. Yours is green too. Y'all should have made a motion to do away with all green zones, man. Why is it so hard for y'all to make a motion in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Ward? If I buy a lot, man, I can't even build a garage on a lot. All I can do is build a garden or a gazebo or something like that. Why y'all won't just make a motion to say, hey, do away with the green zone? I don't understand it, man. I mean, I really don't. But anyway, the data center. Ha. Thought they could ease it in here. Yeah, I got some information from somebody who told me, and I trust their word. They do research. They built 2 data centers the size of a super center Walmart, 2 of them, and only 80 workers. They come in here talking about jobs, 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 because they know in the Black community, all they got to do is say jobs. And we, oh yeah. Skip those jobs. Our electric bill is going to go up so damn high because it takes all the electricity. How is it that Ashley Capital, Buick City, taking $72 million in taxpayers' dollars to clean up Buick City, but you're gonna bring a data center to come in and contaminate what we're gonna have to pay you to clean up? So now you want our grandkids and our great-grandkids to clean up after that. This right here shouldn't even be an issue after you done only got $1,000 for being poisoned from the water. And then they're gonna say, oh, we'll give y'all $10 million in a community benefits agreement. That's $10 million when you're gonna lose all these lives, man. I mean, what is $10 million? You only got $1,000, man, for property damage from a lawsuit where you carried water every day, where you had to get a filtration system that cost at least $5,000, where you had to pay a water bill that you couldn't even use, and they only gave you $1,000 funky dollars. That's the craziest thing in the world, and we keep on falling for the banana in the tailpipe. I beg of you, this moratorium, need 6 votes. That's a veto. Even if the mayor is with it, you need 6 votes. It could be 6 now. If he veto it, it comes back. You vote 6 votes and it's veto proof and it goes into effect, moratorium. Gives you enough time to research too. Thank you very
Madam
much.
Clerk, next speaker.
The next speaker is Christina Porter.
You know, I know you guys so well, now I'm gonna start sending you Christmas cards. Okay, so for years, this motel has been a magnet for danger. We've seen the police reports, the violence, the tragedy that unfolds right in our own backyard. For some, it's just a cheap room or an address they drive past, but for too many families in Genesee County, it's a place of heartbreak. So basically, what else did I want to say here? The motel isn't safe. It's a deadly nuisance. It's become a revolving door for overdoses, crime, and exploitation. When the most vulnerable people in our community, those who are struggling with addiction or looking for a place to get back on their feet, are met with danger, robbery, and worse. The system is failing us and them. The owners of the property have failed to maintain a safe environment, and it has to stop. To the city of Flint, to the police chief, and to our local officials, we appreciate the steps being explored, but we need permanent, decisive action. The people of Flint are demanding that the Travel Inn has been declared a public nuisance, and now it should be closed down for good. We aren't going away, and we aren't going to be quiet, and this location needs to stop endangering our streets and the life of our children. I do appreciate efforts that have been done so far to people who are helping me and combining to get this done, and I really do appreciate it, but it isn't happening quick enough. People are still dying there. People are still overdosing there. There are still children with no shoes and diapers running around the parking lot there. I just saw it today. So what I'm up here doing is, yes, I do appreciate the efforts being done by this council to help me further this process. Also want to let people know that I finally, after 26 requests and 1,000 signatures, I have a meeting with the mayor tomorrow on the phone. He's going to take time to talk to me on the phone, so that ought to be pretty. But the reason I'm up here for today is for this. I think all of you have gotten these. We will be doing another protest there Friday from 11 to 2. I would appreciate to see your faces. I think the citizens in the community would like to see your faces. I am having hot dogs and peanut butter and jelly, so if y'all hungry, I got you. You know, this has gone on too long, and I am standing here today in front of you to tell you I'm not going away. I am going to be here every meeting, whether it be this or some other topic. Unfortunately, you guys are stuck with me now. Because when this one closes, guess what? I'm going to the next one. It's time someone stands up and holds these managers. Why aren't these managers or owners being charged with anything? That's another thing. Accountability, not just to the community, not just to you guys, but to also to these managers and these owners. If something happens in my house, like if I'm selling drugs or whatever, I get charged with it. Why aren't they? That's their house. There needs to be some accountability with management for these hotels too. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Okay, Rich Jones is not in. Sarah Houston, she's not in. Beverly Biggs Levy. Yes. David Peachy, not in. And the last speaker for this meeting is Shaquendra Brown.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Good evening to Council. My name is Shaquendra Brown, and I'm a resident of the 7th Ward. I'm here today to support Resolution 260191, which will impose a moratorium on the construction of data centers within the city of Flint. For those of you who are unaware, data centers are large facilities that host computer servers for use for generative AI, data storage, and analysis. Because of that, data centers have a track record of burdening the community with little to no benefit to residents. For example, according to a 2025 study presented by the Environmental Health Project, data centers have a known record of decreasing the quality of the air we breathe by releasing toxic pollutants such as nitrogen oxides, methane, volatile organic compounds, and more into the air, which increases the rate of respiratory diseases and cardiovascular conditions. It also also has an effect on our water, with centers using around 300,000 to up to 5 million gallons of water per day, depending on the size, just to cool down the servers, which will only increase the cost of water bills for the residents in the city. That usage isn't used in a vacuum. The cost of the functionality of data centers is passed down to the residents within the community, rather than the corporations themselves. Utility companies that operate where data centers are located stated that they are considered large load customers, which means that utility rates will increase for all residents in the area. In addition to this, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, in Pennsylvania, the average resident had to pay 37% more for electricity since 2020 due to the high demand required by data centers. It has become more clear that the way data centers are organized currently are negative for residents living in the area. A data center in the city will force us to pay more for a service that residents would rarely see, take money away from our community, and increase pollutants in our environment. I urge the council to support this resolution to make sure that residents in the city are first priority, rather than the needs of the corporation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, or Madam Clerk, did you say that was the last speaker?
That's correct.
Okay. We are on to council response. Any members of council wish to respond to the public? Any members of council wishing to respond? Seeing no one, then we will move on to the special order 260188, a 10-minute discussion item for service line replacement requested by Council Member Lewis. Council Member Lewis, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If you don't mind, through the chair, to Mr. Chambers, Mr. Mike Chambers from Home Serve USA. He's here to talk about the service line program that they have. I met Mr. Chambers and his colleagues at a conference in Philadelphia when I went and was honored. And so we discussed how the service line program can benefit the residents and also benefit the city. So I'll allow Mr. Chambers the time to talk about that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the council allowing me a few minutes tonight to tell you a little bit about our program and how it can benefit the residents here. My name is Mike Chambers and I'm with HomeServe, and we administer the service line program. Through our program, we work with cities and municipalities all across the country to help residents when they have an issue with their external water and sewer lines. We are a strategic partner of the International City Managers Association, and we currently work with about 1,300 communities across the country, around 40 here in the state of Michigan. And the reason these communities and organizations have gotten involved with this program is everybody understands that infrastructure is getting older and older, especially when it comes to these water and sewer lines. And one of the big issues is, well, cities are working to try to maintain the main lines in the street. You have all these lines that connect to that system that really, they don't get any attention until there's an issue with them. And that's the residents' lateral service lines. And a lot of times when the resident has a clogged sewer line or their water line breaks, they don't have the $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 it can cost to dig these lines up and repair them. So that's where our program comes in. First off, we just help to educate residents on what their responsibilities are, give them tips on how they can keep lines, working properly, such as don't put grease down your drains, that sort of thing. And then also give them the opportunity to purchase a warranty that would cover these lines should something happen to them. Now, the nice part for the city, it's a fully turnkey program. We handle all the marketing, all the billing, all the customer service, all the claims. There's no cost or anything to the city to participate. And then we actually share a portion of all the revenue that's generated back with the city as well. Now, if the city did decide to participate in the program, it's nothing that's forced onto your residents. It's nothing that they have to take. It simply becomes a program that's available that should they want to enroll, they can get coverage on these lines. We'll have 3 products available. The first is the external sewer line coverage. Covers their entire sewer line from where it enters the home all the way to the main. And that'll cover everything from simple cleanouts, something gets flushed down there, or a lot of times there's tree roots that infiltrate that. all the way up to fully replacing that line, even repairing any kind of concrete. So if the street needs to be disturbed or all that's covered for the residents as well. There's no deductible on that program, and there's also no service fees. And we don't do any pre-inspection, so everybody is eligible to enroll. Second product we offer is the external water line coverage, covers their whole water line from where it enters the home all the way to the city's connection. And that'll cover leaking lines, broken lines, slow running lines, all that sort of thing, any disruption in their water service. Once again, no deductible or any service fees. And then the final product is the in-home plumbing and drainage, and that's going to cover all the water and sewer lines inside the home, as well as stopped up toilets, sink backups, anything related to that in the walls of the house. Now, when the resident has an issue, they don't need to call the city. We have a 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week US-based call center, always answers with a live person. And they'll call there, they'll speak with one of our agents, and then we dispatch the job to a local licensed plumber. That's another big benefit of the program is we only use contractors here in the city to do the work. That helps keep the dollars here locally with your businesses. But more importantly, we understand that when a resident has an issue with these lines, it's not something they can wait a day or 2 days to get somebody out to repair. So by having the local contractors, we're able to get them out there, as soon as possible and get the lines put back to the way they need to be. Now, as for the way we make the product available to the residents, I always get the question, are they going to get phone calls or things like that? We never do any kind of telemarketing. All aspects of the program are done through that educational letter. Typically, we send that out twice a year, once in the spring and once in the fall, and that'll allow the residents to enroll in the program if they choose. There'll be a 1-800 number on that letter that they can call if they have questions, or they can just send it back with a postage paid envelope that we'll include and enroll that way as well. As I said, about 40 communities here in Michigan doing the program. Just in the past 3 years alone, we fixed over 1.2 million lines across the country, saving residents almost $1 billion. We've been doing the program for over 20 years. And it is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. And then we do a customer survey to every resident that files a claim. And currently we have a 4.8 star rating for that too. And then as I mentioned earlier, there is a portion of the revenue that comes back to the city. So 10% of every dollar we collect, we give back to the city. And then a lot of our partners have done some cool things where they'll use those funds to maybe there's a low income family that needs help, paying a water bill one month, or maybe they have a claim and don't have our coverage, or others are putting it back into other projects that they're working on. But that's really up to the city how you would want to use those funds. So, but that's kind of the overview of the program. I'd like to answer any questions if you have any.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chambers. So I learned a lot when I was at the conference. And so one of the key things that I thought really stood out was the fact that the city gets 10 cents for every dollar.
Correct.
So it's an investment back in the city. In addition to, it is covering the service line that's not covered by the city. So
that is correct.
All right. So I'll open the floor up through the chair to any of my colleagues that have any questions.
Mr. Chair. Is this the same program through Consumers Energy?
It's a similar one. That's not our program though.
And so your product, you're selling a product or service?
That is correct. Yes, it's basically a warranty. It's regulated as a warranty product here in the state of Michigan.
Okay, so there's a monthly fee and you join the program. Is that how it works?
That is correct. Yes. So the external water line coverage runs $5.99 a month. The sewer line coverage is $12.49 a month. And then the in-home plumbing and drainage is $11.99 per month. And residents can pay, however they choose. They can pay by the month or they pay by the year if they choose to as well. The nice part too, there's also no contract assigned. So, if they ever want to leave the program or come in, they can do that at any time.
So you do service line replacement, you do?
Yeah, water service line replacement, sewer line replacement, and then in-home plumbing lines as well.
Sewer line and in-home plumbing lines.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're, because we're looking at our agenda, I didn't know it was a product.
Yeah. It's a warranty product. Yes, ma'am.
Or should I say a service?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this? Anyone else wishing to speak on this? Seeing none, then I will close the special order. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we are on to resolutions. Or we're on the consent agenda. Anyone for motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by 7th Ward, supported by the 9th Ward. Any separations?
Mr. Chair.
Madam in the 6th Ward?
Complete separation.
complete separation. First item 260187, the motion or the resolution to adopt the comprehensive plan update for the memorandum of understanding of the City of Flint Planning Commission. Is there a motion? I'll make the motion to send to council. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by 7th Ward councilperson. Any discussion in the first round? Any discussion?
Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th Ward.
Thank you. Mr. Slaughter, I assume you were coming this way about the MOU plan. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Hello.
How you doing? I'm DeQuan Allen, a community planner with the City of Flint.
Okay, Mr. Allen, was that, you said your last name?
Yes.
Mr. Allen, can you tell us what this resolution is for again?
Yes. So I'm gonna just go ahead and give a brief rundown of everything to jog everyone's memory so we can all be on the same page. This is a comprehensive plan, often called a master plan. That in the comprehensive plan is that guides the city future growth and development over the next 10 to 20 years. So why update it? Over time, a comprehensive plan can be outdated. For example, Flint has experienced a lot, basically. We went through a water crisis, we have different population changes, and we also have a new marijuana ordinance that the master plan don't really touch on. So that's why, well, that's part of the reasons why an update is needed. So in October 2013, we adopted our first comprehensive plan in over 50 years. Typically, every 5 to 10 years, under the Michigan Enabling Act, communities must review the comprehensive plan and figure out if there is an update needed or not. So February of 2024, the Planning Commission reviewed it and determined an update is needed. So this resolution strengthens council oversight and clarifies the approval of the comprehensive plan update, which remains with the city council. This is not approving the comprehensive plan update itself, but this is just approving the process.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking, this is where Emily had left off what she was working on, right? Was this the same where she went around and she had meetings with the community?
Correct.
Okay, do we have access to what her notes were before she left the city? Because she did all of she went to several meetings and hosted them.
Yes, there's access if you need it.
Oh, this is gonna be hard. So this is the recommendation, just so that you can make changes, am I correct?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, I yield the floor.
Anyone else in the first round? Anyone else in the first round? No, then I will take my time. Mr. Allen, I see the steering committee, and I'm having a hard time figuring out who is appointing who. It says that the mayor will select one person, and then each city council member will select one person from their ward. But it says there's 21 members. Who appoints the other 11 members?
The Planning Commission.
The Planning Commission selects the other 11 members? Based
Yes.
on what criteria?
So a part of the process is that they put out an inform intake, and they ask everyone to submit their resume, and based off that, they're going to compile a list from each ward, and that list will be handed out to the Planning Commission, to the mayor, to you guys also, and they will select based off that list from all the people that qualifies, and we will present all the documents to you guys once we get to that process.
Because I don't see anywhere in the language where it says that the Planning Commission is appointing anyone. Like, I've read this 3 times. I see that that they will select chairs of the steering committee, but I'm assuming that that is after they've already been appointed.
All right, so once the mayor appoints one, right? Each planning commission get the points one. That's 9. So that put us at 10.
But my language, my question is, where does it say that the planning commission appoints someone? I don't see that in the language.
Okay, so if you're looking at steering committee C on page 3,
Yeah,
item number 3, 2
Okay.
and 3, I believe touches up on that.
it says the planning commission may set the criteria and guideline for selecting committee members and co-chairs, but that doesn't say that they're appointing.
Well, once they select once we go through that process of selecting the guidelines and selecting steering committee members and co-chairs, that's the appointment process. Through that process, we will basically come up with the steering committee.
Because that's usually not how it works. It's like you appoint, and then from whoever's appointed, you select chairs and vice chairs or whatever else. So,
Right, that's why I was telling you that, and it's in the language that it says that the mayor appoints one, each planning commissioner appoints one, and each city council member appoints one. So that right there puts you around like 20 members, I
yeah,
think.
and I'm asking you where the language says that each planning commissioner appoints one.
It's in the documents. I can't point it out exactly, but I just
So
said that.
have you read this document? Because it doesn't say that.
I briefly looked it over, but it doesn't say what you're saying to the specifics, but it does touches up on that.
Okay. So you haven't read the document and you think that okay. I yield. Anyone in the second round? Anyone in the second round? Seeing no one, Madam Clerk, roll call to send Resolution 260187 to council.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Priestley is not in. Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
No.
Mr. Jarrett?
No.
The vote is 4 yes, 3 no.
4 yes, 3 no. That motion fails. On to the next resolution, 260190, adjournment for city council meetings July 8th and July 13th. Is there a motion?
Motion to send to council.
Motion to send to council by the councilwoman in the 7th ward. Is there support? Supported by the councilman in the 1st ward. Any discussion in the first round? Any discussion in the first round? Seeing none, any discussion in the second round? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson? Ms. Priestley is not in. Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin?
Yes.
Vote is 7 yes, 0 no.
7 yes, 0 no. That moves to council. On to the next resolution, 260191, moratorium data centers, City of Flint. Is there a motion?
Motion to send to council.
Motion to send to council by the councilwoman in the 7th ward. Is there support? Supported by the councilman in the 1st ward. Any discussion in the first round?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 6th ward, you have the floor.
Thank you. So the moratorium, which came at an interesting time to have a moratorium, because I have not talked to anyone about having a data center at all. And so one thing we did not have, which I would have liked to have done it, is to have public input, because there's really 2 parts to it. That Buick site is one of the only sites that has utilities, can actually, if we were to ever have a data center, there's a water line there. In addition to, it can support the power and electrical grid because it's already there. The other part is that there's so much controversy with the data centers in almost every municipality. the noise. They're calling it environmental racism. And there's a lot of issues that surround it. I don't even know if we can do a resolution to suspend the industry for 12 months. But through you, Mr. Chair, to Attorney, is it Darrow? Did I say it correctly? Darrow, can we do a resolution to suspend or to put a moratorium for 12 months? What is the process for this?
Yes, it's something that city council can do, and 12 months is not a long time. It's standard. A lot of municipalities are doing it so that they can get policies set in place for, because right now we don't have them, but yes, it is legal. City council can do it.
So who drafted this?
Joanne with.
Attorney Gurley did?
Yes, she did.
Okay, so I haven't met with anyone with data centers, and I know sometimes it can get a little political around Flint. You don't get what you want, then, we put it out there. I haven't met, no one has said, hey, or I don't know my other colleagues who have talked to other businesses besides after they saw when I put it up on my social media and the residents weighed in. And so no one has said, hey, are we getting a data center? Or who's bringing the data center until that was put up. And so I know when you're not doing fundraisers for people, when you're not doing on the birthday card selection, and you're not doing that, then these little funny things come up. They do. So do we know, is there a data center that is proposed that we know that's going to come?
Mr. What's in your other order?
Attorney Darrow?
I am not aware of a data center, that proposal. I haven't heard one. That would be something that the planning commission would know. But I know that it was brought to Attorney Gurley and she wrote the resolution.
So do we know, so has the mayor been talking to one of the businesses for a data center? In your knowledge?
No, ma'am, do not have that knowledge.
Okay. So one of the things that we know, the Buick site, who it is owned by, we do now know that it is proposed that when you're filling that site, they may be looking for one. I would have preferred to have, before we have a moratorium, one to have public hearings to allow the public to weigh in. That site is, the Buick site is, there's only 5 sites like that in the United States, I believe. And that has that amount of power, that it was built to, if power went out in Flint, the powerhouse here, which was not demolition, it is still standing, that it could actually power up Flint. And so I get where they're saying, but then we have there are still people around there who is sparsely populated, but there are still people around there. And so I don't know if the intent of this moratorium is to do a study, to have public listening sessions. I don't know, no, is this what what the goal is? First I heard about it was, we got our agendas last night at about 7:30, and it was on there. And so, I mean, the intent, it has not been clear. People people don't trust the water. We're not entering into the $14 billion water lawsuit that they're sitting on and waiting. And now they want a data center that we don't even have much knowledge about. I yield the floor.
Thank you. Anyone else in the first round?
Mr. Chair.
Oh, go ahead.
Councilwoman in the second ward.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the first that I heard after I received the agendas last night. And so just hearing, I understand that a lot of the sentiment about data centers, but when we speak about data centers, I want to make sure that we have the data to make the correct choices. So, and I'm in agreement with Councilman Berman in terms of, having the public come into, having them come forth and talk to us about it. And then also, like, even if it means us conducting our own study, what would this do to the city of Flint? Because I don't want to give the impression that Flint is closed for business, and we are closed for opportunities, meaning that we're not even looking to explore what would this mean for Flint. Because, we do have an industrial complex area with water line going straight to it. So we have a different setup. But at the end of the day, we need to make sure, that it is or isn't a good fit. I don't want to block it for 12 months without getting solid information. So the proposer of this ordinance, it would have been great if they would have, we would have had a conversation so I could ask some more questions. But as of right now, I don't want this to turn away, the industries that may want to come here, and and also businesses, because we got to make the decisions, the best decisions for the city. And so I don't want to make a decision without having enough information. I don't want to go off of emotions, because emotions gets us into bad water deals and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get good information so we can decide if this is for us or not. I'm not saying I'm for it, I'm not saying I'm against it, but I'm saying that we need to do our research and see, and we need to do our research. So thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you. Anyone else on the first round?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the 7th Ward.
Absolutely. I am the introducer of said moratorium. What I have introduced is not unique to Flint or only being done in Flint. Meridian Township has done a temporary moratorium on development around more data centers. Mason has done a moratorium that they only lifted after they enacted their new zoning rules that were adopted around moratoriums. Around data centers. Zeeland Township, Springfield Township, Northville Township, Green Charter Township, Big Rapids Township, Erie Township, Filer Township, Huron County, Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians. So this is not unique to just Flint. This is not unique to governments trying to protect their cities from environmental hazards. This is not unique for governments trying to get more information. This resolution literally says in here that in this 1 year, that we are to look at doing regulations, that we are to look at the causes and effects that data centers may have on this city. And so while everyone would like to drag their feet and say, we don't want to enact it today, the thing that you don't enact today puts in place a permit for it to go ahead and come tomorrow. We're saying that we care about the residents. We're saying that we're trying to stop this. The one thing that everything I just named had in common was the fact that they were proactive and making sure that nothing was planted in their cities unless they had the correct information. The difference between us and the rest of them is we've gone through a water crisis where we have already had environmental issues and environmental scares with our drinking water. If you look across the nation, other places that have data centers are running into huge problems. And yes, I do know that there's technology and everything else that may make a difference. But the bottom line is we need to put something in place so that we can stop and do a thorough study before something just comes in here. What's also very interesting, and I didn't even find out until today, was the fact that someone is eyeing Buick City to place a data center there. And keep in mind, while you're saying it's an industrial site, that there's also noise pollution that goes on for miles with data centers. There's a lot of things that we just need to look more into. One of the resolutions says, a temporary moratorium is hereby imposed on data centers within the city of Flint for a period of 12 months. During that temporary moratorium period, there shall be no permit applications, review site plans, location, construction, blueprints, and or installation of any data center or similar functioning facility for use of a data center and or renovation of a facility for said purpose, accepted, evaluated, processed, considered, and approved by the Planning Commission and City Department or Flint City Council. Also, while the temporary moratorium period is in effect, the Planning and Development Department staff and the Legal Department shall review the zoning code and ordinances to recommend to the legislative body regulations related to data centers and to consider potential revisions and amendments to better protect the public health, safety, and welfare of residents. This temporary moratorium shall expire within 12 months or we can extend it. Bottom line, this is putting a protection in place for residents. There was a Facebook post that was posted where you had a whole bunch of residents saying, absolutely not, we do not want this, do not bring this here, don't do this to us again. We now have an opportunity to go ahead and pause any planning or anything that could possibly happen around a data center, much like other places that I've named who, unlike us, have not had a water crisis and are clearly trying to avoid any form of crises for their communities. We have to think about the fact that the water consumption that may happen with a data center, the water pressure that may happen with a data center. We have to look at other environmental concerns. We have to look at we need a cumulative pollution analysis. We need environmental justice reviews. We need public health impact assessments. We need, if it comes to a community benefits agreement in place. We need to make sure that we understand that residential electricity rates will not increase, grid reliability will not decline, that infrastructure costs are not shifted onto taxpayers. Other concerns, again, I said water use, noise, air pollution, diesel backup generators, increased utility costs, minimal job creation. When we talk about this, there's constant fan noise, generator testing, industrialization of rural or residential areas, air pollution from the backup generators. There's a lot of things that needs to happen. There needs to be full transparency. There needs to be, again, a full estimate of how much water will be used. There needs to be complete disclosure of electricity demand. There needs to be full public participation. I'm even willing to send this to special affairs so that we can have people come in, we can have people talk and have people weigh in. But if you saw a report today that they're eyeing our site, we don't have another day to waste to try and put protections in place before it just happens and we can't do anything. I yield.
Anyone else in the first round? Anyone else in the first round? Then I will take my time and disappoint a bunch of people. One, I don't think that we should have a blanket moratorium for anyone without knowing any details. To me, this is premature. I would like to know with details of what anybody's planning. Like, we have literally seen this for 12 hours and we have no idea what's planning or anything about it. I know we've all seen the videos of data centers having noise or whatever else. We have no idea what the hell that is. That could be a transformer that went bad. Like, everything's clickbait nowadays, so who knows what's real and what's not real. I have yet to see anyone. I know Memphis has a ton of data centers. I haven't heard one complaint out of Memphis about pollution or noise pollution or anything else. So I agree with that. We need to have all those studies, but we need to know what people are planning, and there's not a agenda item before us that says they're going to bring a data center, or they're going to bring this many jobs, or they're going to need this much water. Like, until we get anything, I don't understand how we would put a moratorium on anything. And furthermore, I would like a legal opinion on how a resolution can override ordinances. So if there's ordinances and laws already in place, how can a resolution override ordinances? When ordinances have to go through a posting period, they have to have a public hearing, they have to have other adoption processes, but now we're saying that a simple resolution can override ordinances? I would like a legal opinion on how that's possible. So we have ordinances for marijuana and we have ordinances for building codes. Are you saying, Madam Attorney, that we can just by resolution dismiss those ordinances? We can say that we're going to have a moratorium on building a new house, or have a moratorium on whatever aspect of an ordinance in its law without going through the ordinance process to change that ordinance?
Data centers are new.
I understand that, but
So
it falls under a category of industrial or whatever else. Like, it's not so new that it's not already zoned for industrial or commercial space.
All I can tell you, I mean, we can dig into it more, but I can tell you that it's being done in other places. I looked it up. It's legal in Michigan for us to put a moratorium on a particular, on whatever So the moratorium would not override the ordinances. It would give us the time to do what it says it is going to do, to give us the time to do the research and plan.
But in reality, this moratorium is overriding an ordinance, because if our zoning permits such a act, and I'm not saying it does or doesn't, if our zoning and other ordinances approve that, and they're saying that, no, you can't even look at it to see if it would be approved, that would be overriding the ordinance, right? Because it's saying it's saying the planning commission can't even hear about it.
Well, that's the point of it, so that the planning commission can get,
So the planning commission can't even hear about it in order to make plans.
well, you don't have to hear about it to research it, to see how it affects people. It doesn't have to be brought to the
But-
planning commission.
But I have to say this, I have to imagine all what we're calling data centers aren't the same.
Well, I mean, I'm
not either.
So
I'm not either. So
we're-
we're blanket pushing, saying that all data centers are the same, and no matter what, and I'm not even sure what we're calling a data center, what the definition of a data center is, but we're putting a blanket thing saying, if you come remotely close to whatever the definition of a data center is, which is not outlined in this moratorium, then we can't even look at it for 12 months. To me, that doesn't make sense. I want details of what is planned before I make any generalized decision on anything.
Well,
And-
there are no ordinance on data centers because they're brand new. So there's been no law written regarding data centers.
Thank you. Anyone in the second row?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the sixth ward.
Thank you. So the article that is out with Cranes, which states parole back data center developer eyes Buick site in Flint. A high profile development group with data center savvy and strong political ties is eyeing the former Buick site in Flint. That's in Cranes. My question is, because shouldn't just be at our level, and the regulatory laws, they're not consistent. What is our state rep Cynthia Neely saying about this? Do you know Attorney Darrow?
I have not spoken to her regarding this issue, and so I couldn't speak on that.
Can we reach out? And this is something, because we're getting this today. I would like to know, because this is a big project. What is it? What are her thoughts on it? And also, when we look at the water and we look at the rural community, this should be a lot of discussion actually during this. They use groundwater, well water. We do not use in the city of Flint groundwater or well water. Not majority of the people. I don't even know anyone has a well left. Most people are using well water in the city of Flint for sprinkler systems. And so, as far as what would be the causes of it if we have it? I get trying to the big sell of it is, well, Flint can do. We will get $20 million more in taxes, which would be a third of our revenue. $20 million would be a lot of money to Flint, but is the money to be placed over a human life? And that's the part where we have to slow this down and to ask, is this something that they're willing to do? Is it money over people? Because in this area, we know that it's an older area and there's a lot of seniors who have been there. And then also it's in a marginalized area. We're looking down off of Industrial Street. How many people do they have a say-so there? And where will they go? And how safe, far do you need to be away? I think there's a lot that goes into that. And I think that we do need to talk with our other elected officials, our senators, our state rep, our congressmen and women. I would like to know, how are they weighing in on this? Because data centers are coming. People like Chat GPT, but then you don't want to have the technology in our neighborhoods. And what does it cause? I mean, when you're reading up on it, it could cause brain damage. We really don't have good science on it. And so I would like to know a lot more. I would like to know a lot more about it and the company. I mean, it doesn't give the name, it just says eyeing. I would like to know the company's name. Who are they meeting with? You know, who are they meeting with, all these people? So I yield the floor.
Anyone else on the second round?
Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman in the second.
Thank you.
floor.
So first of all, the definition of what a data center is literally right here in the whereas section. Whereas because AI requires facilities to house the supercomputers and process the information rapidly from prompting inquiries, seeking answers. And whereas these facilities are known as data centers, which are being considered in many communities throughout the state of Michigan, United States. And whereas the term data center refers to a facility that primarily contains IT and or electric equipment used to process, store, secure, and transmit digital information, which may be in a building or within a large infrastructure that use environmental control equipment to maintain the proper conditions for the operation of the electronic equipment. So bottom line is that definition is absolutely in there. Second of all, while everybody should weigh in on it, what matters is what this council says, what this council votes for, how this council is the front line, and whether or not this council will put this moratorium in place so that the data center that you just talked about having all kind of questions about protecting the neighbors, protecting the people down the street, protecting the water, that's what this moratorium does. It gives us an opportunity to get the information that we need to make an educated decision about the data centers. The bottom line is the residents are watching. They see how we're voting. This moratorium stops someone from coming in and just going ahead and trying to put in plans to move a data center quickly without us having full education and information. Now, I'm sure someone will do a study or something to give us further information, but until that happens, we need to make sure. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do you know, is anyone, are you planning to do an ad hoc committee at all?
Listen, if the ad hoc committee is what's going to get this passed so we can protect our residents, which again, over 100 of them said on Facebook on a post that they do not want this, if that is what's going to protect us, then absolutely. They're not pausing the time. Go ahead.
Thank you. Are you regarding the post that I made on Facebook?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you know how I feel then.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So like I said, whatever's going to get us there. But in the meantime, while we're coming up with committees and we're stalling and we're doing all this extra stuff, this moratorium can be put in place to protect and safeguard. Another thing that could easily happen, that's why I said I am even willing to send this to special affairs so that we can hear from more residents. So that if somebody wants to come in here and try and say yay or nay, they have the opportunity to come and do so. But what I'm saying is we cannot drag our feet and give anybody the opportunity to choose for us that we will have a data center that we have not even had the proper chance to educate ourselves on. And as far as Tennessee goes, Mr. Pfeiffer, I don't know how you've missed all of the articles of all of the problems, all of the pollution and everything else that Tennessee is facing. Memphis specifically, all kind of articles about what's happening there. And now I'm saying, once again, I just named off several townships, several cities that are already protecting and safeguarding their citizens, and they haven't even had the problems that we've had here in Flint. This should be a no-brainer. This isn't something that we should have to question or wonder if we're going to do. Yes, I'm going to protect you. Whatever the vote is tonight, this moratorium that I introduced, I'm standing on it and I'm protecting the residents. I yield.
Thank you. Anyone else in the second round? Anyone else in the second round? I'll take my time. I'm not saying I'm for or against it. I'm just saying we have zero details. We have zero details, and I'm not going to blanket say that every data center is the same. In every data center is going to pollute the city, or there's laws that they passed in the Michigan that says they're protecting the consumers for electricity rates. So all I'm saying is we need more information. I would like to see the plan or the proposal if there is someone coming. That's all I'm saying. I think this is premature until we absolutely have it in front of us to know what is what. I just think that this is very premature. So I'll yield the rest of my time. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we have another round of 4 minutes apiece.
I will add one more round of 4 minutes. I will order without objection. Anyone want their floor in the third round?
So
You have the floor.
thank you. Oh, yes. I'm tired. Thank you. So thank you for the time to talk about, because this is something we should be talking about. So I get what you're saying, Councilwoman Mashat, and on the post, I wanted people to weigh in because we didn't have any public hearings. And the consensus was they do not want a data center. The consensus was.
Request for information.
Yes.
How many of those people did you verify are Flint residents?
I did not, because it was only, I don't even think the post has been up 24 hours.
Yeah.
But there were a lot that were, and I think the last time I checked, it was over 140 something people who had commented. And then there were some emails, and then I have been inundated with phone calls, and I have not been able to return them all. And I actually started researching this 2 years ago, because if we were to put a data center, that site and the AC site would be the best site, because it's heavy industrial, and they could support with the water and then the electrical, because all of the utilities, it's like a plug and play. You can put it there and you would have, but they don't bring a large amount of jobs. And so, I mean, we're weighing this and they say, oh, it's going to bring jobs. Well, are we talking 1,000 jobs? No, they're usually like, they're usually very minimum. I looked at one data center, I think it was like 40 jobs. And so I think when we have the information, I would have liked a presentation. And bless you. Other question is through you, Mr. Chair, to the city attorney. If we approve this, which I don't know if we're going to have the votes because people have vacated their seats, because it is such a controversial topic that they have gotten out of their seats and left. Can we reverse this? Or maybe we should do a 6-month moratorium? If we vote for the 12-month, and because it looks like they've got someone who wants to, and which I just got this today, the Cranes, the parole. Yeah. Can we reverse this?
You're the legislative body.
Yeah,
If
we
you
can
put the
cancel it out.
moratorium in, you can
Okay.
reverse it.
I want to put that on the record because I like for an attorney to say that. Thank you. So there is a lot in this, and I'm not, I get the rural and urban areas are two different things. They drink groundwater, well water. I mean, it's different. We have a pipeline that we're not using. You know, the $20 million, what could we do with that, per year? And so I don't even know if they're eyeing this, what does this contract look like that, what does it look like? This company, what are they offering? What is the community benefits agreement or whatever? I want to see what it all looks like. I'm sorry, we're sidebar. So she's saying with transparency, do we even have a right? And she's going to get back into it. She will, believe me. And that's correct. It is not being transparent. And that is one of the biggest things, because Flint was done so dirty with the water crisis. Just done dirty. And so I get that. And so if we send this to special affairs, because I'm not seeing, I don't see really 5 votes to be approved. I do not see that. Maybe we can have the public. We need the public to come out to weigh in. We need to hear from you. This is your community. Come tell us what you think. Google it. Does that go through the data center? Put it through the AI. That will. But we need the public to tell us. And that area down there is very sparsely populated right now. And one thing we know is we don't need any more pollution down there, because pollution tends to be a big thing. We have the water crisis. Now we have the proposed data center. And we also have contractors that have been demoing houses without properly doing the asbestos in that area. And so they're getting fined for that in that area. So we have got a lot of things that are happening to our residents. And when they keep continuing to take advantage, it is our responsibility to speak up. So it's our water been polluted. They're polluting our area. It's on the state website with Eagle that they're getting fined for demoing homes with known asbestos. And now a data center, that's a 1, 2, and a 3. We can't take too much more.
Thank you. Anyone else on the third round?
Mr. Chair,
Councilwoman in the third ward.
I am from that area, and I'm in kind of agreement with Candace. We need to do more research on this. And I've been down there for probably about 20, 30 years. I don't want to bring something in my community and run us out of our community and our space where we have paid our taxes on our property and we're staying in our property. So we do need more data on this.
Thank you. Anyone else on the third round?
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and take my time again. I know that you mentioned that there are things that are supposed to protect us from rate hikes and all this other legal stuff. There were things in place that was supposed to protect us from poison water. How did that work for us? How did that work for us? That didn't work for us. The bottom line is, I don't understand why there's so much pushback against a resolution that is giving us the opportunity to do the very thing everybody's saying they want to do, and that's get more information. What happens is, and again, none of us knew that that article was going to come out today. We had no idea that was happening. So if that doesn't show you, you have no more time to play with this, and that you need to put this moratorium in place so that you can do thorough studies, so that you can get the information that you need to make a decision. I am all for sending this to special affairs and telling every resident in the city of Flint to be down here Monday at 4:30 p.m. to speak to this. And anybody who wants to speak for or against it, that's on you, but we need to hear from you. But the bottom line is, while we drag our feet, if we do not do something today or right now, if you see that there's already a company with an interest in coming here, it's going to be out of your control before you even have a chance to really learn anything about it. I'm sure that we can do studies on it. I'm sure that there will be plenty of people willing to help us do studies on it. I mean, it's to the point where if you look around the country at how bad these data centers have gotten, Aaron Brockovich has entered the chat. I think that we have a responsibility to the city of Flint, to the residents. We are all residents. We lived through a water crisis. So if anything even sounds remotely like it is going to poison us again, and after you already said all you got was $1,000 for this, I know you all saw where federally they're trying to make it so that data centers can't even be held responsible for if you get poisoned or if something happens to you. So you won't even get $1,000 the next time. But what you might get is cancer. But what you might get is catch death. Yes, I meant to say it like that. There's a lot of variables to this. And I'm not saying that they may not have some responsible data centers, because I hear things about it being closed loop data centers where they don't use up a lot of water and all that other stuff. All of that is fine. What I am saying tonight is simply give us the time to see, know, and understand what is happening with data centers. Because yes, we see Memphis, plenty of articles about the negative impact. We see what happened in Saline and the controversy about what happened there. I've named off numerous other cities and townships that have said, let us take a look at this. We want to stop. We want to make sure that residents won't get any electrical rate hikes passed on to them, that the water will be fine, that there will be no decrease in water pressure, especially in the summertime. You're heating up computers. How hot is that going to get? There are just a lot of things, and there could be regulations and airflow and all that other stuff. But the bottom line is we do not know.
Request for information. To the councilwoman, what made you bring this today?
Oh, so I had already been working on this, and the timing of the fact that they made an announcement, I didn't even know about the article in the Detroit News before this was introduced. I had no idea what was going on, but what I did see was the trend in data centers coming to Michigan in huge numbers. And so one thing that I know, and especially that TikTok video of somebody saying, why not put it in Flint? Because we don't want to be poisoned again. That's why not. Go put it in your city for the woman who wanted to know. Put it by your home. Endanger your children. Endanger your grandparents. Bring down your property values. And if at the end of this, there's a way for them to do it responsibly and not harm the environment, then I guess we've all learned something. But all of this is saying is give us an opportunity to learn. There's someone eyeing property here. This is our opportunity to pause and stop and say, where's the transparency? What's the contract? What does all that look like? All these questions, this moratorium gives you a chance to ask them. I yield.
Oh, Jesus,
Thank you. Anyone else in the third round? Anyone else in the third round? Madam Clerk, roll call on 260191 for sending to City or to council.
Ms. Johnson? Sorry. Ms. Priestley is not in. Ms. Winfrey Carter is not in. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
No.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Earl Alamin? Dr. Lewis
Not in.
is not in. The vote is 5 yes, 1 no.
5 yes, 1 no. That moves to council. Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn from 7th Ward, supported by Councilman in the 1st Ward. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Ms. Priestley is absent. Ms. Winfrey Carter is absent. Ms. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Mashat?
Yes.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
Mr. Alamin? Dr. Lewis is not in. Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no.
6 yes, 0 no. We are adjourned at 8:31.